The morning chat live with Rico. Just come on in. Let's get this thing and join me as the sun hits my face, as my melanin begins to become activated. And it's Friday, and I don't know if I'm gonna be walking around on Saturday, probably Saturday afternoon or something. But good morning, good morning. Come on in. I tell you, these walks are very refreshing. Should have been doing this a lot sooner. But anyway, I am getting a stroll on. Get this natural vitamin D. There you go, right there. Yeah. And it's always best to do it. If you want to do it early in the morning, that's awesome. You know, those of you who are walkers or runners, because the sun is not as brutal as opposed to when you decide to, at your own risk, walk after 1 o'clock. Because 2, 3, 4, that's your ass. You don't want that smoke. But it's around close to 11 o'clock right now, so the sun is out, but also there's a breeze. You see I'm walking past a lot of trees and stuff on my way to my little walking spot. And so as you come in, y'all know I put the energy into these lives. So mess with your boy on that Cash App or that PayPal that's on here all the time. If you're cool with me, fool with me, you hear me? Let's see, but those of you, when you throw messages up there, I can't see you right away, but who is this? Is that Miss Penny? Good morning. Who's that? William. And so I try not to, the sun is reflecting off the phone, so I can't see you, so after the live is done, I then go in and go in and read what everyone's wrote and say what's up to everybody, I guess after the fact. And so right now I'm going to sun. I can barely see you typing, but good morning everybody who's coming on. Share this live. Share. And I see that people are still coming on the page, the post that I put up, and you're still having at it. There's just a few people left. There are those who are still discovering. I guess the word is getting out. You see what he said? Or there are people who've been kind of chilling on the page, because I have I think 4,945 friends on this page. And, of course I don't hear from not even most of them, but just the same few that comment. But I know they're there, so particular topics bring out, it dusts off folks who have just been kind of sitting there. There's some folks I'm like, damn, I didn't know they were still on my friends list. I haven't heard from them literally in years, but they're still there. And these topics that I brought out about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and voting, well, it's brought everybody out because it's election season. Everybody gets turned up. And so, and it's weird how it's like that Pavlovian experiment. Once they start with the experiment, those of you who've ever read the story of the scientist Pavlov and his experimentation with the dog, and how he's triggered by sound, smell, or whatever when the dog's senses are activated, he would salivate. In other words, you hear a sound or something, it's activated and you react to it. That's how America behaves every election cycle. And then it's bringing it down to black folks. We get activated. I mean activated whenever it's time to vote for, I guess in the national elections, vote for president. All of a sudden we start going at it. And we've been going at it, and folks are still going at it. And it's your choice. Again, like I stated yesterday, if you didn't check out my chat yesterday, it's still on this page. Go through it. I think it's one of my better ones. I had a lot to say. I guess it was fresh off of all of the comments that people were making, which again, everyone's free to comment. The only rule is if you have a question for me, don't let it be a smart ass question, because I will respond to you in a smart ass way. But if it's just a question, so no, just general, I don't mind, but I don't receive personal attacks on my page, because I'm putting a post up there for you to respond to. I don't mind people responding. But you don't have to address me, because that's the post. But if you want to ask me something, cool. Be grown up about it. But if you act a fool, I'm gonna act a fucking donkey. It's just how it is, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because I have a higher level of expectation of these grown folks that come on my page. So please, let's share. And so I put up a couple of more posts up there, and one I mentioned because a friend of mine from my hometown of Memphis sent me a very interesting text. And I said, you know what? I hadn't thought about that. And shout out to everybody who's doing their research on headboard Harris, heels in the air Harris, hide 'em away Harris, Kamala, C-U-M-A-L-A Harris, Kamala Harris, Kama Sutra Harris. You know, I'm black because I'm trying to win, trying to run for office, Harris. But knowing my mom and dad are not black folks, and I'm part of the Hindu Brahmin society, I'm glad that people are coming out, you know, with her record. And that's what this is about. Yeah, I mentioned a whole lot of other stuff because it's been made public news. And by the way, people can say whatever they want to say about anybody. If it's public news, we could talk about it. What difference does that make? What does that have to do with anything? It has something to do with it if I want it to be something to do with it, because it's in the news. Don't give me that, because that's selective. Don't tell me what to say and when to say it. I don't have to. Hell, it's public information. And it's getting out more. Yeah, she slept her way to the top. Yeah. She strategically married this old Jewish white guy. She strategically went to the HBCU, Howard University. She strategically pledged the black sorority. Because, you know, people know who they are. We need to find out who they are. We're the only ones that don't seem to know who people are. They know it. The birth certificate has Caucasian on it. Her father tell her, you're a fraud. You know damn well you ain't smoke no weed, listen to no Tupac. They album didn't come out 4-5 years later. You was there in '86. What you talking about? So her lies are coming out. Well, the lies have already always been there. All you got to do is go check out the YouTube interviews she's done on the Breakfast Club and everywhere else. Do the research. So when someone has something political to say about Kamala Harris, don't jump down people's throats. Because you got everything in the world to say about Trump and nobody cares. But it's a candidate that you like, all of a sudden now, they don't necessarily, we need to come together. We need to stop being divided. What kind of shit is that? Now all of a sudden, because it's a political candidate, you want to bring the race together? That's something, you know, yesterday I said there's something wrong with the American Negro. There's no race. Hell, we're already divided. Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, Kojic, Baptist, what else? Black college, white college, fraternity, sorority, and the rest of us is black. We already divided. So you want us to come together to put in somebody because you think you identify with and they don't identify with you? Are you kidding me? A lot of us are a lot smarter than that. So cut it out. Stop this divisiveness. Woo. I know, I chuckle a lot, you know, and it's not just pure condescension and sarcasm. It's actually funny, there's a sadness to it. You know, that black folks, every 4 years we do this same silly shit. We get into it like dogs. I mean, just scratching and clawing and mentally and verbally pulling pistols on each other. You know, friends or people you're familiar with start falling out because I'm Republican, you Democrat, you conservative. They for white people, they for black people. God damn it, politics is for everybody's taking. Politics is for everybody's taking. So I don't understand how we get to pulling sides. And my encouragement is we all need, if we're going to participate in this American society, how come we don't participate like everyone else does as a group? Not as Kappas, not as Omegas, not as Deltas, not as AKs, all these separation groups, not as Church of God in Christ. I'm Southern Baptist. I'm AME. Not as all that. Not as I'm pro-black. I'm Christian. You know, God damn. Why can't we just participate? You know, I ain't say we got to be in love with each other, but can we come together on that one point? Be one racial group, you know, economically. You know how we were forced to do during the days of legalized segregation and Jim Crow? That's that. What happened to that? Oh, yeah. That funded revolution called the Civil Rights Movement, that fucked all that up. That's one of my topics. The Civil Rights Movement was a terrible decision for black Americans. Terrible. I'm going to get back there in a minute. But let me go to breaking news. So again, you know, let's not fall out about no damn politics, because after the election, then what? Well, are we going to issue out apologies, or are we going to say, hey, you know, it's just politics, let bygones be bygones? You know, if it were that simple, it'll be fine. But no, people, people say some ugly things, terrible things. The condescension, the snideness, the sarcasm. Whew. Oh, I'm glad this shit only happens every 4 years. We'll never be hanging out. No, as black folks. You know, we just have to erase all these lines that divide us. And that's what I've always preached that. Can anybody tell me that, Rico, you never preached that? That's what I've always preached. Black unity. And I'm telling y'all, I think the problem is, one of the many problems why we're so disunified or not unified, because we don't read the books of our scholars. And I'll keep saying that. We don't read the books of Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Don Amos Wilson, Dr. Julia Hare, the scholars, Sheikh Diop, Dr. Ben Yakahanan, Ashwa Kwesi. The scholars have left us stuff to read so we wouldn't be so behind in the society. Shout out Mr. Donaldson, that you. What's up? Mary Max, Mary, you made it? Cool. So anyway, everybody else say I can barely see. But anyway, we have to get into the reading. But anyway, hey, by the way, and y'all share this. I was awakened this morning from a post. Shout out to a fellow brother of United African American Men, formed in 1993 by 6 visionaries, Hank and Darnell and Derek and Kevin, Fred, what's that? Lamar. Yeah. Well, one of the brothers who, and I'm one of the very first persons who arrived at the meeting in March 2nd, 1993, Adams Hall, room 200 on Grambling State University's campus. And then Ryan, I saw Ryan Williams's comment, and then I saw David Aubrey, who was the SGA president during the time I was there. Shout out to David Aubrey. And then I went to Grambling State University's alumni page. It's called I went to Grambling State University, and the story was there of a fight and a shootout that happened on my dear old Grambling's campus. And there's a video. They showed the two dudes knuckling up. Bow, 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 hands. And then the shorter guy was getting too many hands. Bow, 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 bow. That took that taller boy like, throwing some Mike Tyson blows on that dude here. Blah, blah, blah. He started out pretty good, but the taller dude was throwing some, I'm hitting you that young fella was hitting that cat like, I'm hitting you, so I don't have to hit you anymore this semester. He's like, wow. And I was like, damn. I was saying in my head, you might want to, fall out, young man, because those Pinocchios are coming, son. And next thing you know, yeah, he did. He ducked and like, damn, let me get down, because this young fella, this brother here, I bit off more than I can chew. So, and so I saw that, and then I read the comments. And because I'm always interested, oh yeah, they did the fight. All of a sudden, when they saw their men's losing, then some other young fellas jumped in on a guy who trying to jump in and attack the dude who was beating the other guy's ass, or getting the best of him. And so then a brawl ensues, and next thing you know, hell, about 9 damn times, pow, 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 pow. The running and the screaming, and I think it was a whistle blowing on the campus. I think this happened last night or something, and then people was giving their comments about it, and it was like it's a shame or this, that, and the other, and just go ahead and read the comments. But here's my comment on it. And they were saying, they need to cut that out. And according to the news, it was a victim. A guy was hit, or a student was hit. I don't know if they gave the gender. A student was hit. They don't know the condition of the student right now. And allegedly, it was reportedly, it was happened by some folks who do not attend Grambling State University, and that happens. And my commentary on that is, it has happened when I was a student there from 89 to 94, then graduate school 94 to 96. When I arrived there January 89, that semester, and in fall 89, crunk. I remember a couple of occasions where gunshots rang out on Grambling's campus. And guess where this happened? It's something about that damn Pinchback and Douglas. That's where the shooting happened when I was a student. It happened right there. I mean, one guy got shot in the ass, and his girlfriend was trying to, grab him. Come on, come on. So, and also, it was nothing really for a fight to break out after the movies on Friday night on Grambling's campus. And a couple of times, I'm telling you, I hit the dirt because they were shooting those pistols on campus then. It was probably like a revolver then in 89 or 90, 91. Pow, pow, pow. And we were running like zebra across a desert or a grassland in Zimbabwe. Boom, oh. And I remember just hitting the deck. I fell right there between T.H. Harris Auditorium and the Student Union. I threw my body down on the ground between T.H. Harris Auditorium and the Student Union. I'll never forget both of those. So I said all that to say this. All it is, that can be handled. We're not going to vilify our campus, vilify our young people, because those are our young people. And young people have that angst and anxiety. Hell, they're not the first ones to fight and shoot on campus. I just told you. And so I want those of us who are now over 40 and you got your great jobs, your families and living well, or you just 20 years, 25 years removed or more from Grambling State University. Don't condemn them. Don't beat up on them. You were 19 and 20 just like them. There are things that can be put in place so this won't ever happen again. This is how we deal with that. Things, we had lyceum, we had convocation, we had speakers to come in and I mean, this was often to reiterate why you are a student. And also, what the hell, ain't no gangsters in college. Well, in the beginning they came in claiming to be gangsters. Saw them cats from Shreveport, New Orleans, and California. But the cats from California, once they stopped, once that Louisiana sun hit their ass, they stopped messing their fingers up doing all that Crip of Blood stuff shit. They were just using their hands like this after a while. Yeah, cuz. Yo, cuz. Yeah, cuz. Hot down here, cuz. I'm just playing. Shit. They ain't use their fingers for all that shit no more. That Louisiana sun started hitting their ass. They changed their minds about being gangster. And so, but the folks in New Orleans, they just came down there with a chip on their shoulders. They just, Because you know when you hear the story of the Calio projects and all that stuff that's going on, they came down there. I wish a motherfucker would, baby. So then the Shreveport folk, they mad because most of them came from Cooper Road, the hood, if I understand. And then, you know, it just people came. We were students or products of, and grateful products of open admission. Because if it were not for open admission, we would not, a lot of us would not have gotten into college. And it is a fact that a lot of students were given the option, now you can take your ass to jail for violating this probation, or you can go to military or college. And a lot of those young men decided to come to college. Not only come to college, but they came to Grambling State University. And one thing about Grambling State University, in the early 90s, up until probably 98, 99, we had some of those wonderful professors and instructors, Throwback, who were scholars and disciplined and very pro-black, in meaning teaching us our value and who we are. Yeah, we came in crawling, knuckle dragging, but around sophomore, let's say junior year, we were walking upright and looking at folks like, you still doing that? Are you kidding me? We held each other accountable. And that's one lesson that probably is not being taught to this generation of college students, holding each other accountable. I mean, really, become your brother and your sister's keeper. And also, one thing I will say about that video, you know, but it's like young people. I wish somebody had a cooler head and say, hey, man, y'all break this shit up. I wish that had happened, because whoever would have done that would have been the hero of that video. But you know, young people are high-headed. A lot of times, these little brawls are planned. Yeah, let's meet up, motherfucker. Guess what? Down at the old stadium, Grambling State University, dudes used to come out there. They used to get the boxing gloves, and everybody wanted to get some. They said, put the gloves on. It'd be a bunch of guys in a circle. Yeah. Outside of old Penchback Hall. Do you remember the old stadium? Go down around there and on the side there, and they, throwing hands, and it was cool. Maybe some of this old school stuff can be reenacted or reactivated today. It's not rocket science or how we can solve some of these problems. No, this is what I call interpersonal or social problems with our young people on these college campuses, on HBCU campuses. We do know that intra-violence, that intra-racial violence is real in all aspects of society. But those of us who are older and people at the administration there, that's what it is. Have a conversation. Have a meeting in the auditorium. I know it's social distancing time, but some kind of way, or put out flyers. You know, tell them this won't be tolerated. It's unnecessary. If you have a dispute, let's talk about it, or let's get someone we can handle it. And then teach young men and young women to be self-sustaining in their own discipline. And then explain to them, you are at college. You don't have to do this. When I went to college, I left Memphis at home. I left my situation. I left my condition. I left whatever mindset of, if I had any foolishness, at home. But we bring a lot of young people, I guess they when they go off to college, or maybe it's because they come to HBCU and everybody's so familiar. Well, we got black folks here. You know, we have this, a lot of us have a weird-ass perception about what black is. I never thought black was ghetto and hood and dangerous and violence. I thought those were in the movies. Even though I grew up around it, I just never believed that's who we were as a total group. And when I arrived at Grambling State University, it's like the heavens had opened its doors up, and I walked there, I said, oh my God, this is not Memphis. So I'm going to make the best of it. And our young people, a lot of them come from these areas where violence is key. It's prevalent all the time. And we have to keep talking about how when you're away at college, you are beginning the process of transforming into somebody else, somebody better, possibly somebody greater. So this is an opportunity for you to allow yourself to take on that new experience of scholarship and intellectual interacting with other students you've never met before. And that is what college did for me. That is what it meant to me. I was happy to be on Grambling's campus. And I guess I didn't know any better, because I didn't think, let me retract that. because I've been on the campus of the University of Memphis. I saw how the white universities were well funded, but I was happy to see us. You see, that's the pride and the love that if they're going to have speakers come on campus, they need to speak directly to that. I'm open, invite your boy. I'll come talk to them about what's really important. And the little fights and stuff, you already fought enough at home. You fought enough in high school, goddammit. What you doing fighting on a college campus with all those women there? That's something we have to teach these young men. You've already fought enough. Let's get on campus, man, and let's get our grades up. Let's learn something new. Let's say hello to that person I never met before from Chicago. Let's say hello to a young lady I never met before from California, any city in California. I'm telling you, bro. Whew. Jackpot. Ooh, them honeys from California. And God dog, and some of these cats from Texas and Illinois, meet that cutie pie from New York. Any borough, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. That's the stuff that needs to be spoken about more. I know social distancing, but now this is the time for someone who can be a great writer to put out like little newsletters and leaflets on campus for them to read. You know, the stuff I used to do, people picked up. I know you say, Rick, they have social media. They have this. Well, encourage some of our smarter and brighter students to make those videos. And then, how about those two young men? If they don't expel them, I don't have a problem with them kicking their little violent asses out. But not the two dudes that was fighting, because fighting, let me take that back, because I ain't harshing our young people like that. I think they should be brought before judicial affairs, and they should be admonished, but I don't think they should be expelled. Hell, school hadn't even started yet. I think they're just opening up and getting in the dorms. But whoever that pistol shooter was, y'all find that son of a bitch. And y'all make sure not only is he or she expelled, but serve prison time. That don't make no damn sense. Shooting pistols on campus, but but fighting, unless it's some kind of bloodbath going on. These two, there was two dudes going heads up. Then just how stuff happens. When you see your boy getting kind of knocked down, then you want to jump in. Then it creates that melee. And that's all it is conversation that need to be had. And then that's why I would charge the dean of students or vice president for student affairs there to try to be more creative and say, y'all come here, man. What in the hell are y'all doing? And share some of the words I'm sharing with y'all to our young people. Those are our people. Those are our young people. Those are our future Grambling alumni. Those are our people. I'm going to keep saying it like I'm a broken record. So we have to get to them and say hi and invite people to campus. And please, they ain't all got to be Greeks. Hell, some of us got good sense too. We've all lived. Yeah, I said, damn, Rico, you been on them Greeks. But yeah, because, they still get treated like they're the specialty people. There's some of us who are not affiliated with this stuff who've got a lot of great wisdom. And so invite people to the school and talk to our young men, talk to our young women about expectations of behavior. And tell them about themselves. That's what should be done. Because we know our young people coming to these HBCUs. Not all of them, but a large majority of them come from the back parts of New Orleans, not Slidell. They come from North Memphis, not Germantown, Cordova. They come from the hoods of where they live. They come from Compton, not Cerritos, California. Or Palisades. They come from the hood of Tallahassee, not South Beach, Miami. Y'all see what I'm saying? But they still have to be taught how to meet other people and how to appropriately socialize and stop this me against you. Y'all are all on a black college campus, because when they talk about it, they don't say those young people got into it. They say violence at Grambling State University, which encompasses everybody. So we have to teach them that. We need to have, where's today's attorney Thomas Todd? Where's today's Eddie Milton Jones? We need that person there to tell them, about expectations of behavior. So that's why the license program was so important to us. That's why convocation was so important, even though we dragged it at it, but afterwards we was like, man, that really helped. It really helped me to develop into a young man, or if it's a female, a young woman, and expand my thinking, broaden my perspectives on things in life. And that's all it is. It's called development. Our young people, they're 18, 19 years old. They're still developing. They're still trying to figure out what is appropriate, what's not appropriate. And yeah, they're making mistakes, but that's where grown people come in. Older people come in, and y'all know how I talk about building a fence? Building a fence around our race, building a fence around our young men, building a fence around our young people. Look, goddammit, we're the ones who's supposed to be doing that. We're the ones teaching them so they can come up in their majors and succeed and flourish like the rest of y'all did, like the rest of us. Hell, y'all think children and teenagers and young adults grow up by themselves? It has to be that village thing that's popping off. And that's all. That's my commentary on it. I'm not going to beat up on our young people. I'm disappointed that happened, but I'm not surprised because it happened when I was there. Do I think it's appropriate because it happened to us that it should continue? No. Well, I'm saying just stop acting like, oh my God, they're about to bring the school down. They're bringing this bad publicity to Grambling State University. Just stop it. Just stop it. For those who feel that way, I'm just saying. No, we just have to, get the administration, say, hey, invite me. Can I have this workshop? Can I have this conversation with our young men there, our young women there? Because I don't just single out the young men, because young women are part of that some kind of way. I almost promise you. There's some young girls involved. And teach young women there about the power of their femininity. In femininity, I'm telling you, there's a reason that the white feminists got in black women's ears 50, 60 years ago. Because they understand that femininity is a powerful thing. So they extracted femininity mentally and spiritually from black women, or they allowed themselves to be manipulated by these angry white women who call themselves feminists and say, no, you're independent, you're strong, you have to be this. And see, yeah, we got a legion of strong, independent sisters that has no effect positive. I won't say no, but their power to influence black men and black boys positively has diminished greatly. Because they've allowed these white feminists to get in their ears and tell them they don't need a man. And black boys are handled like in the weirdest way. So, having said that, let's get together, because we are Grambling. We are one. And let's all build that fence around our university. Let's build that fence around our young people there. And again, that's my suggestion. Somebody who writes really well, don't put it on a Facebook blog. You can do some YouTube things, but pass it around in probably gold paper and just give it to them so they can sit there and read it. See, let me tell y'all something about the power of the paper and the pen. You know how we used to read books and disappear into what's being read in that book? See, those days are lost because we're all on social media, on the computer, reading stuff, then we move on. But when people used to read good books, man, they used to pick up a lot of information. Just like when I used to write my newsletter, I used to see people sitting down at the table in the student union in the snack bar with like this, just reading, and just pulling my words into their psyche, and I'd even walk past and I notice either people probably frowned up with their eyebrow coming together, or they'd be just laughing. See, that is when you see that paper right there and you're reading it, that is what that does, as opposed to, getting everything, off of YouTube and, real information, cool information. I'm not saying that social media is not relevant. Of course it is. It's the thing to do. I'm just saying some of this old school stuff, this reading thing, and putting it in their hands. What was so successful about my newsletter, one of the things was I put it in your hand. And you got to have it, you got to read it, and you got to keep it. And that's how I think they should write. And not put it, they didn't put it in the Grambling night. I'm talking about, like, you don't have to do a whole damn booklet. You can just write one topic and make it double space, probably 13 font, front and back, and then put like 3 book suggestions on the back of it. I guarantee you, give it a minute, you'll start seeing the stuff change. That's the suggestion I have to reach out young people on that campus. Get somebody to say, look, on this topic here, femininity, on this topic, expectations, on this topic, and make it so, write it in a way that is so familiar to them, they're going like, well, damn, are they talking about me? All right, I'll try it. Put it in their hands. And some people, of course, here the budget folks, where all that paper going to come from? What they going to do with all the paper? Here the Grambling night. Yeah, they ain't hardly reading that damn Grambling night anyway. Use the same budget. Make about 1,000 copies. That's not much. Like 38 to 40 bucks. I'm sorry, how much when I used to do? Right now, 1,000 copies at Kinko's or wherever, they might have their own way in which they make the copies. This is a sheet front and back, yellow or gold paper. And do that probably every Thursday or something. And just have people just pass it around to say, how you doing? Just give it to them, and then all of a sudden people will be looking forward to seeing the word of the day. Yeah. Today's expectations. Or this week's expectation, femininity. This week's expectation, masculinity. And just do a thing on what is expected and what is masculinity. And here are the 2 or 3 book suggestions. I'm telling y'all be shocked. If not, invite some speakers in to talk to them. But yeah, definitely, I don't think those 2 guys that got into the fight should be expelled. That's just my opinion. I think they should be brought into a room. You see who they are and those other guys involved, and have a real conversation. Bring the coaches in. Bring who I guess one of the officials from judicial affairs in, and have the conversation and see what they have to say. Bring a counselor from the counseling department there at Grambling, let him or her sit in on that. Mainly him, because if it's guys, this should be a men's meeting. So bring one of the professors up in there, and they have this dialogue, and then write down, expectation. This is what we expect of y'all, brothers. Y'all cut it out, and then constantly drill into their heads why you are here. I'm telling you, it'll work, because I saw it work with my newsletter. My newsletter dictated thought. It dictated moods. It dictated behaviors. It pushed my opinions into people's spirits. I saw it work for myself, and I'm still feeling the effects of it today. People are still 25 years later, man, you told the truth, bro. Man, I like your paper. Or, those who are mature, man and woman enough to go ahead and admit that, I offended, but also educated. So that's how I know. Those are my receipts, and the stuff works. And books should be brought back. I mean, for reading, encouraging. Now, I'm not asking them to be perfect young people, because there's no such thing as a perfect young adult. If we go in the library, shit, it was like club library up in there to the right, AC Lewis, go to the right past the front desk, right there in that area, shit. And those little group rooms, man, going down. You had to go downstairs to the basement if you were serious about studying what a microfiche and film and all that shit was. Because upstairs, it wasn't. We talking about everything except for what the fuck we supposed to be there doing. And the library closed at 12, at 10:30, 11 o'clock. I got to start work on my paper. But you've been there since 7 o'clock. See how they work? That's young people. Shit. But anyway, that's my commentary on what happened at Grambling State University. And you can go and look up the story, and you form your own opinion. That's just my commentary. Now, I want to get to the topics that probably brought you here. Let me see, that was one of them, Grambling State University. And dang, I think the civil rights thing. And, dog, I can't forget that. Damn, I should have written it down. I know, wish I can go here and look. But I know, let's see, it was that. Oh, yeah. Someone sent me a text, right? And I started on this, but I got off of it really quickly. And it says, you know, and I put a post up there, and it says, I didn't hear anybody yell, y'all hate strong black women, when an actual black woman by the name of Omarosa was working for a white man in the White House, trying to bring attention to the needs of HBCUs. And I thought that was brilliant. It's funny how we going all out, and we got these black feminists, we got these affiliated black women and non-affiliated black women around here attacking black men. We got these beta male, effeminate, blue pill punk ass dudes attacking other black men, saying you got a problem with women or your mama if you don't support this non-black woman who tells you that she's South Asian or Indian. But, you know, and just trying to shame black men who have their own minds. We don't have to like her. And I find it interesting that any black dude who's done any research on her record, how you supporting this bitch, you self-hater? Are you kidding me? And so the feminists and everybody else trying to attack black men and call black women who are not supporting her pick-me's and attacking black women who don't support her. No, because see, I need y'all guys to understand this, and sisters who are not behaving like this, y'all just kind of listen. See, black women a long time ago, thanks to them listening to the feminists, white feminists, after the civil rights movement, black women politically stopped viewing themselves as a race and just as a gender. And that's why we can't get shit done. Remember I talked about yesterday? They go to their women's movement, they never mention black men and black children. They only mention themselves. Well, they mention black children as them being the matriarch, patriarch, the head, but they don't mention black men being the part of the family structure in their little women's movements. As opposed to what black men have done in everything that we do. We always talk about taking care of the women, protecting the children, get our wives. You know what Farrakhan told us in '95. And so that's why we have these problems. That's what the division is. It's not black men, it's black women. These so-called empowered sisters. They've decided, they've chosen gender. You know what, let's go back. Let's go back to here in Dallas when that white woman murdered that black man. Did y'all know that black women on that jury pool, they identified themselves as a woman with that white girl. That's why you had that Delta by the name of Mammy Tammy. Yeah, she happened to be a Greek affiliated. I told y'all about these Greek affiliated blacks who they side with the system against their own any chance they get to. And Mammy Tammy, I don't know her last name. Her name is Tammy something, but she got the nickname Mammy Tammy when she brought her fat ass off that fucking bench and hugged the bitch and gave her a Bible. Yeah, I'm still hot about that. That was the biggest insult and slap in the face to black men everywhere. If you were a self-respecting black man, you would have been offended just like me. I'm telling you, I could have sneezed the nails. She got her ass out there and gave her a word, gave her personal Bible out of her fucking chambers. Do you understand? And then the women on the jury I can't send her to jail for 100 years because she's a woman and I couldn't see that. Did y'all see that fuckery? Yeah. Mammy Tammy came down and hugged her. Ooh, sellout whore. And so, and here we go again. Black women aligning themselves with white women and others. But it's funny, sisters, that when they don't need you no more, they let you know, slap you in the face, and we ain't give you no black woman, we gonna give you a mulatto. Now make that do what it do. And guess what? Sisters like, well, okay, well, at least we got a woman of color. If y'all ask for a black woman, I'm gonna keep saying it to you motherfuckers, you do backwards flips. Because y'all gonna have to learn when you're being played and you're being used. But then y'all do this shit right there, what Mammy Tammy did, and then demanding that they get that senile old racist get a black woman instead of y'all presenting a black agenda for the black family. They gave you an octoroon mulatto. Because I told y'all Democrats don't fool with blacks in leadership. Because they know they got a very white constituency under liberalism and Democratic Party. But blacks somehow think they got power in the Democratic Party, I keep telling you. Now, I'm not saying conservatives are better. I'm just saying be smart about it. And they let you know, you don't run shit here. We gonna give you who you want, and you gonna make it do what it do. And that's what happened. So, having said that, they siphon off, they separate as gender, and that's why we're dying. I mean, that's why we're so divided. So, everybody going crazy and attacking black men and black women, those of us who don't support Kamala, C-U-M-A-L-A, Kamala, and headboard Harris, lock 'em up Harris, hide 'em away Harris. But when Omarosa, an actual black woman, beautiful black woman, smart, articulate black woman, awesome black woman who also graduated from Howard University. To you motherfuckers all on the alumni pages saying HBCU pride. Well, how come you didn't say that about Omarosa? Yeah, Omarosa went to not one but two, Central State University and Howard. But I guess she wasn't light enough. Yeah, that's a dark skin issue. It ain't with black men, it's with black women. Hell. They always talking about black men or colorists. No, it's y'all. Omarosa was smart, she was articulate, and she got penalized because of who she worked for. And then, but y'all ain't penalizing Kamala Harris for who she worked against, which is black men. Can't take you people seriously sometimes. So how come she's not a queen? And then when she got out of the White House, well, she told your ass, and this is the D.L. Hughley too, you son of a bitch. He talked to her like she was some kind of plantation throwaways, just like a dog. Just talked to her crazy. And all of us were concerned when he painted this little funny looking ass, that non-binary looking ass off that fucking stool, not practicing social distance. We were all concerned. But even after you totally disrespected that sister. And all she was there to do was try to be a voice for HBCUs. And be a voice for us. Because you know how we always say? It's funny that when Omarosa went to work for the president, this whole thing about, well, you know, we all need to have a seat at the table. Unless there's a white man we don't like that other white folks told us not to like. You see that silly shit? She was in there. And with a seat at the table. But y'all mad because she worked for a white man that y'all didn't like. But I know every other Negro on here and outside of the stratosphere of social media works for a white man or white woman they can't stand. It's probably just, or perceived as racist and all of that. You know, some of you went to these white schools, had white professors who were racist as shit, but y'all never called them on the carpet. But all of a sudden, this sister here, who ain't bothering nobody, doesn't have a record of hurting black men or black women. Every time I heard Omarosa speak on TV, she always said, my people, our men. And then let me take y'all somewhere. Yeah, she showed out on The Apprentice and all that. It's a game show. It's a damn reality competition show. She did what she did. But she wasn't ratchet. She was conniving and intellectually cunning. And killing them. She never lost her femininity. She never stopped being a lady, but she cut you with scissors. I remember when she was on, let me tell y'all, so y'all remember that show called Bethany? That little white girl? Hold on a second, y'all. Damn. That little show, Bethany, was on the air, and she was on there sticking up for black women. Always did that. She said, yeah, Bethany, all y'all have to be is mediocre. Oh, that audience hated it. Y'all have to be mediocre. Y'all get all kinds of roles and TV jobs. Y'all just be, but black women got to be 5 times better, the actress, 5 times better just to get what's really due. And that's hell. A lot of times they get the minimum after being 5 times better than a white female counterpart. And that's the stuff she used to say on TV. You know, and all of a sudden she all these mammies and race traitors and sellouts because she went and worked for Trump. Y'all oh my God, I was disgusted. Disgusted by it. And some of y'all still got attitude with that lady. And guess what? She's lost weight and got finer. Man. Body for days. A real black woman's body. beautiful, dark, sun-kissed skin. Just, look. Now, yes, I'm turned on. I was turned on and turned on by Omarosa. Not just her physical appearance, but her intellectual prowess. I was so proud of her. And y'all had to give it up to her. Because every press conference that she did when she had her book, that lady, man, I said, damn, I wish I could interview like that. Just chewed them up and spit out everybody. And she went to the black ones. She went to all the white ones, the Jewish ones. And she went to even like the griot, the root, anybody that would have her. She went there and, man, shut it down. But it's funny when she went to the white, well, no, because they all tried to play her. Hold on a second, y'all. Wait a minute. It's water time now. Y'all see this? And so, I find it very interesting. Y'all share this live. And it's interesting, that we dogged this black woman out. And for the most part, she had her real hair. She might have had some pieces in there, but you couldn't hardly tell. You know it wasn't no sewed, no tracks and unglued in and shit. She married not one. I think she married one black man, or she married a fiance with other. All of men have been black men that we know of, but y'all gonna dig and find her with a white man when she was 18. And there you go, Rico, she ain't as black as you think. Okay, and then y'all pull out all the white dudes y'all been with till you got your black husband. Or your Mexican husband now, so don't go there. So, I'm just saying, Omarosa was and still is our queen. But y'all gonna call this mulatto a queen? Get out of here. Who worked her ass off against, and just look at the videos, they're coming out. Y'all gonna purposely not look at them because y'all know you don't want that egg in your face again. First, when they picked her, now you done went so hard against other people, black men and black women, for this lady falling out. And it's coming out, she's Indian Asian. And her record, let's go to her record, does not talk, it consistently shows that she wasn't very fair in her legal behavior with black men. And I keep saying black men because it seems like nobody gives a shit about black men. We even got black men don't give a shit about black men. And that's troubling. Like, hell, how you gonna expect somebody to respect you and you don't respect yourself, black men? You're around here saying this stupid shit, but I understand why black men sound the way they sound today. Because for the past 45, 50 years, they've been raised by their mother and grandma and auntie. They didn't have that much masculine energy, so they're indebted to the matriarch. Because that's why a lot of black dudes don't know how to think for themselves. They think for their mama. They think for their sister. They think for their grandma. They think for their auntie. They don't think for no granddad or no father, because most of these motherfuckers in hell no daddy. That's why I'm telling you. That's why these black dudes put up simple shit like, if you love your mama, you love your grandma, you should love Kamala Harris. What? And how you gonna put somebody's mama and grandma in the same and use that as a shaming tactic? But you can only do that to black men. You can't shame no white man about his mama. Well, if he dated a black woman and some white women say, your mama white, they ain't never heard that. We're the only ones, because that's all we've ever had, was a mama. And guess who fault it is? Your mama. Now, I'm not talking about those who, your mother and father, divorced when you're like 18 and stuff like that. I'm talking about these single mamas out here. Go have a baby, then move on. And then just let you live and linger. That's how I got my baby. Me and my baby gonna be all right. That shit. That's why they can't think for themselves. That's why too many of these boys don't know anything except for running and jumping. And then if they go into academics and all that really tough, they're so effeminate, they don't know how to handle themselves. And masculinity come around, they reject it just like hard-headed women do. Y'all didn't hear me. Y'all better get into what you think God is somewhere in your Bible. I know it's in a lot of research that the scholars left for us. This shit is real. If you grew up around there in the city and stuff, go look at all that in the hood. All that fighting is going on. Because these boys are angry. They have no masculine figures in their households. No masculine men to look up to. Appropriate masculine men. Their mothers never tried to bring one in. Yeah, that's why they act like this. That's why they got these tight-ass jeans on and pink socks and pink shirts and shit. Because their mom said, ooh, that look cute. But if you had a real daddy at the house, son, what are you doing? And all these little boys with this color in their damn hair. And they dreads, color. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers are bigger customers to Miss Clairol than the women are. Damn. Let the women have something, fellas. You buying up all the hair coloring products. God damn. So, the women can't find no fitted tight jeans because all the boys buying all the goddamn fitted tight jeans. I'm sorry, ladies. I do apologize. But you know, y'all got a heavy hand in this. Y'all raised these effeminate, blue pill, beta male. I can't think for myself or don't think of my gender as important little fuckers. Some of these guys 35, 40 years old think like bitches. Yeah, I said it. So anyway, I found it amazing the way it attacked Omarosa. And I didn't like it then. When I think about it, I don't like it. That woman didn't do anything to anybody, but she's this big race traitor. But then y'all the same heifers that's right here standing up for Cardi bitch and Megan the stupid with that dumb video and that stupid song that they put out. The same, I'll guarantee you. Those of you who say, well, they have a right to express their femininity, their sexual femininity. They have a right to do this. But y'all the same women who called Omarosa a mammy and a sellout. Well, I said, I can't take women seriously. I'm talking about, I don't give a damn, even when you got a master's degree, PhD, or a law degree, I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously. Because I ain't saying no women stand firm on women behavior in shit, ever. But they'll stand firm on fuckery. And I learned that a lot of times you see these women who you believe have high statuses attacking men because they're standing up using their morality saying, you know, that ain't cool. Why y'all hating on her? Let her live. She gonna be her. And these chicks, these not the ghetto black girls. We expect the ghetto black girls. But these are women who are affiliated, who have master's degrees, law degrees, good jobs, researchers, scientists, that's signing on to Cardi B. But y'all the same ones that attack Omarosa. Get out of here. Somebody like me, a man with his own brain and intelligence and words he's not afraid to speak, supposed to take you seriously? Hell. Damn. It's weird. And guys, y'all need to pick up on this shit. If you got a girlfriend that thought it was cool, but Omarosa, I'm sorry, what Megan, what Cardi bitch, or what I call a Cardi Benadryl, drug, and rob men admittedly on her own video out of her own mouth, and Megan is stupid, you mess with thugs, get shot in your feet, and then go, yeah, black women are so unprotected. That's pushing that dumbass feminist logic and mantra, lie. Get out of here. You can't take these little whores seriously. They're tramps. Yeah. And then women, this is not a good comeback. Well, y'all around here fucking these hoes. Y'all around here going to strip club, getting these hoes your money. That's right. It's called men having fun. That's what men do. We're the quote-unquote, we the savages. Your femininity is supposed to reel us in, even in those of you who are in the Bible. Doesn't it tell you there's a harlot, there's a Jezebel spirit, oh glory. And then women should be separated from that. A woman of femininity, of high moral standard, is not supposed to subscribe to that behavior. Somebody hold my mule or shout. And I'm not asking for perfection, but I'm calling out hypocrisy. I can't stand it. And ladies, y'all ain't never been called to y'all shit, but you got the right one today. I don't mind. And one thing about it, I'm free to talk to and talk about women the way I want to, because I ain't no pussy hound. Your pussy don't make my day. But on Friday and Saturday nights, after I ain't got paid and I had a good week, what's up with you, little mama? Let me buy you a drink. Damn right, I'm just like any other dude. I'm just older now and I prioritized your pussy. It ain't got to be daily for me because I'm doing crunches and push-ups and trying to make something happen during the week. And on the weekends, if you're available, and I don't mind you being loose. So I'm not telling you that. The looser the better for me. Because I don't need no difficulty on no Friday night when drinks are being served or Saturday night when drinks are being served. I don't need no difficulty. I don't do nothing on the first night. Well, I'll holler at you on the night you do it on there. What the fuck you talking about? I ain't worked this hard to be having difficulty on a Friday night after 9 p.m. You fucking crazy? You don't see the writing on the wall? It's nighttime. Yeah, we both over 30. So, that's how I roll. I don't deal with hypocrisy and contradiction. But still, you know, don't you think it's hypocritical, Rico? Y'all these same little sluts that y'all condemn, y'all be, yeah, damn right. Because they have a huge platform that influences girls. Well, you know, them rappers been doing it for years. Guess what? Back in the 80s and 90s, you had to buy the album or the CD to hear the bullshit. This whoredom and this thought culture is now being promoted by corporations like Apple TV and all over YouTube. They don't even see, if their first single had been something else, you know, I understand. The first single could have been something else, and then you bought the CD and said, damn, wet ass pussy, I didn't know this was on this CD. But they put wet ass pussy as the driving single. And y'all don't think there's an agenda to push whore and thought on our little girls? And over and hypersexuality on our boys? And then y'all wonder why these girls get to be 25 years old, 3 kids, about 4 different baby dads, and then get to be 31. I want a husband. I'm waiting for God to send me a husband. So who's all them dudes you was fucking from 16 to 25? And all them baby daddies, who the fuck, who sent them? I guess Satan sent them and you loved it. So let's cut it out, please. I'm not asking for perfection, I'm asking for practice. But I can't stand hypocrisy and contradiction. But anyway, shout out to Omarosa. You're the political queen that I recognize. Out of all of them, now that some of these folks got this damn Michelle Obama, no, Omarosa is my queen. Because she behaved like a dignified queen. And y'all ain't heard nothing else from Omarosa. She sold about 30 million of those books. And she chilling. I've been seeing her on Instagram with her little friends. Hiking. She done trimmed down probably to a size 8 or some shit, 6. Fine again. You know, nice, living a life. And she did like everybody else. Shit, let me get this money. It's capitalism. Everything's for sale. But I appreciate her. And she's doing her thing. Like everybody else who's ever worked for any White House, they come out there and they write a book. When she wrote a book, oh, now you trying to write a book to make money. That's the fuck you're supposed to do with a book. And by the way, I'm gonna have mine out, you know, probably next month or something. It's just a short story, like 43 pages of how I met my real dad. It's an interesting story. Holler at me, I'll let y'all know. Yeah, I've been sitting on this thing for so long, but yeah. So I hope y'all mess with me on my little book. It'll just be in it's just be in PDF file, and I may make it like in the form of a paper. You know how you go to Kinko's and get it bound with the little spirals? I may sell it like that, so it won't be like, you know, book published, but it'll be a book for me, like a short story. So holler at me when that comes out. But anyway, now let me get to this civil rights thing. The U.S. Constitution, and I said civil rights was the wrong move for black people. And it was. Because here we are today talking about voting rights. See, did y'all know that full Americans don't have the issues with voting rights? Just visitors? If we go back and remember some of the words of the Constitution, United States Constitution, written by those slave owners, they wrote in there that the black people they were property, and they made them 3/5 of a human being. Meaning it took about 2 of them to make one vote. 2 of them to make one person or some shit like that. So here we are today. We're still, and I'm sorry, let's go back. Let me go up a little further. They were supposedly freed in 1865, in my Emancipation Proclamation. but still Jim Crowed to death, legalized segregation and all kinds of laws that say you couldn't sit here, you can't do this, can't do that because you're black. Can't drink out of water fountain because you're black. We want that black, whatever it is, to get on these white water fountains. You know, do the history. And then in the late 50s, let me tell y'all something. And we're going to have to correct these stories, too, about that history of the Civil Rights Movement. Rosa Parks is not the mother of the Civil Rights Movement. The murder of Emmett Till is the father of the Civil Rights Movement. He should have been the father of the human rights movement. But I'll get into that. See, and they got what I call this corporate-funded march called the Civil Rights Movement, just like this corporate-funded Black Lives Matter movement. It's corporate-funded. Y'all know that. Y'all haven't heard about it now? And so, how you gonna get your revolution funded by the opposition? Y'all ever heard of such a thing? You think motherfuckers gonna give me money to fight them? That's the Civil Rights Movement. Where you think they got all the money for these damn signs and stuff they had at the March on Washington? Where you think they got their money from? White corporate donors. Yeah, some black folks game, but it's corporations. Just like Black Lesbians Matter. Corporate funded. So y'all don't see the holes in that? And if anybody that decides to, I want y'all to do this for me. Anybody who donates to the Biden-Harris campaign, I want you to look at the bottom of your receipt or something. Because we found out that Black Lives Matter, when all the money they're getting goes straight to the Democratic Party. It's this thing on there called Act Blue. That's how they get funded. So they're taking your money, supposedly trying to fight the power and fight the laws, and giving it to the Democratic Party. And the foundational donation receiving end of the Democratic Party and Black Lives Matter is called Act Blue. So we're being used, made a fool of in so many ways. George Soros kicked the money off the old Jew. The white lesbians and LGBT gave them sanctioned them, and it was founded by 2 lesbians and 1 queer or something like that. And so, Civil Rights Movement, corporate funded. So you know there was some fuckery. Things weren't gonna be right. Then they said, okay, if we fund you, you can't fight us back. Did y'all hear that? Then you have to. And so they put a homosexual over the person they chose to lead the movement of the march. His name is Dr. King. And the man who was over him was a homosexual by the name of Bayard Rustin. Bayard Rustin, an agent of white supremacy, because he could not stay out of the backseat of cars having sex with white men, even in the 1950s. And by the way, let me fast forward to 1971 or 2. He was the Grand Marshal, one of the first LGBT parades here in America. He said, well, you know, the first thing on our list is LGBT rights. Guess who else said that? Joe Biden. But anyway, so you're going to get funding from your opposition to oppose them? And y'all do the research of insurrections of groups all over the world. Historically, they have never fought for civil rights. They fought for human rights and the rights to be free. But black folks fucked around and accepted money from the opposition to fight. Well, we'll do civil rights. No voting rights and all that. No other person who is a full American, an actual American, has voting rights. Can my attorneys, would y'all look that up for me? Or just my brilliantly bright folks? Just look that up for me. Even immigrants, when they're sworn in their naturalization process, ceremonies, they're giving white people rights. They're not giving civil rights. And here's the kicker. These little groups like white women groups and LGBT, they already have human rights. They went in and infringed upon civil rights, so they took affirmative action and civil rights from blacks. We gave it to them. How come we're not thinking? Because we had no business fighting for no damn civil rights. That's why they worked so hard to get rid of groups like the Black Panthers. See, Black Panthers were fighting for human rights. And so they convinced other blacks that no, they're messing up what we're trying to do. That's why Bill Clinton felt so comfortable to besmirch, attempt to besmirch the name of Brother Kwame Ture. Because Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael, was fighting for human rights. Y'all understand how this works? When are we gonna stop being dumb? or just unaware, civil rights are for a subset, a subgroup of folks. Everything, let me tell you something. Human rights is what opens up all the doors. Civil rights have you just in this little box, like a little begging puppy. They need to cut it out. We got all these supposedly brilliantly educated blacks attending, graduating from law schools, medical schools, universities, or black, white, whatever, and still have not found this out or discovered. This is the problem. This is an issue. We need to go for human rights. That's why J. Edgar Hoover said we must prevent the rise of a black messiah, meaning a revolutionary messenger who will get the people out of her. And your Bible tells you come out of her. Dr. King said when he woke up, see, Dr. King's being led by a bunch of foolishness. He didn't know any better. You know, he was all Greek affiliated. He was an alpha. And had Kappas around him, Omegas around him. All those dudes participated in his murder, except for Abernathy. But all the his fellow Greek-affiliated members of the Divine Nine all sold him out. Because when he woke up and God actually entered Dr. King's life, see, I'm going to tell y'all something. The revolutionary of the people doesn't come from the suburbs. The messenger of God does not come from the suburbs, meaning who preach black liberation, not white supremacy acceptance like your black churches do every Sunday. They don't tell you nothing about revolution. They don't tell you nothing about the dangers of single motherhood in your black churches. If so, it'd be a change. So y'all know what I think about black church. I don't care. The real ones. And guess what? White people know who they are. Fred Hampton was murdered at 20 years old. Set up by a black dude who joined in the police to give them the layout of his apartment while he's laid by his 8.5 months pregnant girlfriend. And he shot up the place. And he drugged him at dinner that night. Allegedly, I'm reading reports here. Drugged him so he was asleep, so when he came in shooting, he couldn't wake up. He came in, they shot him in the head in the bed laying next to his woman. And next thing you know, guess what, y'all? His son, Fred Hampton Jr., all of a sudden he's targeted. See, they know who the potential messiah of the actual God is. And you notice they took them all out. Let me, y'all talking about celebrating John Lewis. If John Lewis was doing so much, why the fuck is he still here? Shout out, and Farrakhan folks, y'all ain't safe either. How come he got to be 88 years old? And he's supposed to be saying the same thing as Malcolm said, or saying the same thing as Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad said. But he get to be an old man. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out common sense. Y'all can debate it and explain it how you want to. I know it's not required that you leave here earlier than most when you speak out against, speak against the white power structure that's evil, or the parts of it that's evil, or speak out against white supremacy for real, speak truth to power for real. See, I know it's not required that you be taken. I know that, but y'all just have to look at it though. Shit. John Lewis, these paid agents of the government to give people just a little, get them rah, 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 that's right, then go back to worshiping and follow another white supremacy. So, y'all think Black Lives Matter is fighting white supremacy? If they was actually trying to fight white supremacy, you know how many of them trans and queers and lesbians be found dead around here, knocked out? But it's funny, when they were up there in Ferguson, Black Lives Matter, none of them got hurt, but everybody who fought against Black Lives Matter and white supremacy, all them 7 young black men somehow over the years have found killed. Come on, y'all. So, y'all understand who the agents are. They get to see all this stuff, talk about white folks on white platforms. Y'all know them on Facebook, white platform, but I'm not saying anything that's too heavy and too deep, because people are not following me, so I'm all right. People don't care. Now, if I start saying this in the crowds of 100,000 people, and they start, changing the way they do, then I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get in a bunker some goddamn way. These folks ain't I'm gonna keep doing this shit. And I ain't gotta worry about white folks. I ain't worry about somebody who looks just like me slip up on me and shit. So, I'm I'm all right. You would be too. So, you know, that was the wrong move for us. We weren't serious about revolution. Yeah, let's have me saying it, it's scary to me too, because that's when I read the history and the story, the stories of those men and women, Ida B. Wells, run out of Memphis, Fannie Lou Hamer beaten and attacked, just because she like, damn, we want equality in the Democratic Party. You know, and men, it's men and women, y'all, who are revolutionaries that they run out or attacked and discredited and disbarred. Those are revolutionaries. Not all this having debates on CNN about reparations. Or that's not. See, revolution is when your words actually permeate through the minds of the people and start them being opposite of what the accepted norm is. That's revolutionary. You know, meaning telling black folks start spending money with each other, and 30 million black people withdraw their money from Chase Bank, withdraw their money from all the major banks and start putting it in all of the, I guess, 12 black-owned banks across the country. That's revolutionary. And telling black folks, get your children out these stupid-ass public schools and demand that your tax dollars go to your new private schools that you're building. That's revolutionary. You teach your own children to get your kids out of these white schools and put them in all of the 106 HBCUs and be so many of them that they're like, damn, we got to go and open up the old ones that closed up so we can get back up to 500 and 600 HBCUs, up to 1,000. That's revolutionary. If I say it then, people start doing it within the next 2 weeks, withdrawing their black athletes. They got one here and one there, but all of the multi-billion dollar earning black athletes, they withdraw from these big white schools and start going to Grambling, Southern, Hampton, Howard, Claflin State, Elizabeth State University. You know, that's revolutionary. They're like, what the hell's going on? Who did this? That's the stuff. And as I close on this stuff, that's the stuff that makes for revolution. And when they hear it, they say, well, who the hell is this? We need to shut him up. Because I say shut him up because, see, as I told you, a lot of the women were just beaten or run out, but the men are killed. It goes back to the importance of black boys, having strong-minded black boys. You can't have these weak, effeminate black boys because they can't really work, do what they're supposed to do. And I'm telling y'all, and the reason I talk so hard on the promotion of black boys and black men, because I'm one. And number two, I understand through divine existence that if the man is not strong, mentally, physically, spiritually, everything else shuts down. And that's why I don't understand why women don't put their money and their politics into the bringing up of black boys and black men. The girls are gonna be fine, because guess what? The boys be always trying to protect the girls. And the men always try to protect the women. And in the case of single mothers, the little boys are trying to protect a grown-ass woman from a decision she made in her men. So he ended up getting killed or beaten by the guy that she chose. Y'all didn't hear me. That's why I talk about it. He always talking about men. Yeah, goddamn right. Because y'all let the feminists tell you that your man is not good enough. And then when you pick them, you go pick straight from the bottom of the barrel. You go straight to the thugs and the shitheads and the criminals. There's a bunch of black dudes out here. But somehow young women, even when I was young, even today, hell, women in their 30s, they don't like the Kobe Bryant types. No, well-spoken, articulate and educated, speaks correct or proper English, a gentleman. No, y'all don't get him no puss. All the little thugs get it. I'm going to keep reiterating that. And then you get over 30 and shit, talking about, we ought to get me in there. Well, those guys that you pissed on in high school and even in college, well, they moved on. They got them a sweet black woman or a non-black woman somewhere, Hispanic, Asian, or white woman, who accepted them from being articulate, corny, no swag. Then you look at them and they giving $43 million to a damn HBCU somewhere. So I'm just saying. Sisters, y'all know y'all have first pick of all of us. Did y'all know that, black women? Y'all have first pick, first dibs of all of us. But y'all make the choice because he's not wearing Jordans or the latest outfits when you're 16, 17 years old, even in college. Why the hell does he need to be designer in college, fool? He's there to prepare for his future. But anyway, I hope I didn't leave anything out. I just want to share that and tell us to stop acting a fool about these damn politics. But I appreciate everybody who's been on my page and sharing your thoughts. Again, I don't mind them. Just keep your point on the topic. Don't make me your topic. You're not going to like it. Make the post that I put up the topic the way I intended it to be. It may be considered controversial, and I prefer thought-provoking. But it's not a means for you or a starter pistol for you to come in on me. That's not how that works. But anyway, I think I may have plans to have a conversation about politics and black men on my YouTube channel, Rico the Opinionist. Check me out. Subscribe on this Sunday at 8 p.m. Yeah. Let's see, what was that damn? It was two of them. Let's see, talk about Grambling, talk about Morosa, talk about the Civil Rights Movement, and I'll probably remember it later, you know. I know I had a second topic up there. But anyway, maybe on my live on Monday or maybe Friday night. I don't know. I just pop in and do lives. I just hope, my thing is I'm hoping that y'all are there somewhere and catch them. It's just me talking to you, and I appreciate it. And on your way out, holler at your boy on the Cash App or the PayPal. I appreciate it. I swear, y'all, it's going to a good cause. And y'all continue to peacefully pandemic. And if you have any questions, just hit me up on the messenger. I'll answer them. It depends on what the question is. But also, if you like a copy of my black book list, send me an email address in my messenger. I'll send it to you. It's interesting. Only 2 people send me an email. I guess you don't want to know what I've learned and how I got to sound the way I sound. Because I try to keep, and I try to read what the scholars wrote for us, left for us. Left for us. Damn. Whew. And that's the stuff. That's what we're going to have to get back to. What the scholars wrote for us. You know, and I'll name them again, some of them that I can remember right now. Dr. John Henry Clark. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. G.M. James wrote, I'm sorry, let me go back. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. He wrote, They Came Before Columbus. Michael Porter wrote, Kill Them Before They Grow. Dr. Joy Leary wrote, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing wrote the ISIS paper when she discussed the colors and the ups and downs of how it plays into the mindset of white supremacy. Michael Bradley wrote Iceman Inheritance. Who else? Dr. Amos Wilson. I can't even remember his damn book title. Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, but Dr. Amos Wilson, get in there, fellas. And for black women, us period, Daughters of the Trade. Check that out. Dr. Julia Hare, Miseducation of the Black Child, Re-Education of the Black Family, Dr. Nathan and Julia Hare. Attorney Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow. All these books. We can go back to the autobiography of Malcolm X, Miseducation of the Negro. Oh yeah, Dr. Claude Anderson. My God. Y'all check out his video. If y'all want to begin the process of coming out of this haze, he has a video on YouTube. All of them have videos. All those people I named, they all have YouTube videos. Dr. John Henry Clark, what did he wrote? He wrote a lot of African religions and stuff. And then you have George G. Jackson wrote Introduction to African Civilization. G.M. James wrote Stolen Legacy. All these books. And I have a book list of all this stuff. But Before the Mayflower, I think, what's his name? I just had Lerone Bennett. I think that's Before the Mayflower. Anyway, I have the list if you'd like to have it. Get at me on that. And some more titles. And also Sister Shahrazad Ali. These are books that get us to, I think, will begin the process of us thinking differently about our existence as a race of people in this country. I'm telling you, all the stuff we're going through, you know how Christian folks said, well, we're going through all this stuff because we done got away from God. You get closer to God. I'm telling you, that's all you need to get back, get your relationship with Jesus and get with God. I'm telling y'all how you can actually do it. These books will get you on the path of where we're supposed to be. Dr. Claude Anderson, he has a video. It's called Inappropriate Behavior. It was a video he did years ago at Dr. Fred Price's church in California, I think. 1 hour and 56 minutes, it will change your life. You're talking about history. That guy is awesome. And he's still with us. He's like 85 years old now. You know, all of our scholars are they're elderly, or they're passed on, and they're passing on. And we have to read the books to keep the knowledge going for the next generation. We have to pass these books on to our young people. See, if we pass those books on to those young men, young women who are involved in that fight at Grambling recently, I'm telling you, put that in your mind. And also, let's teach our black children about veganism, vegetarianism, teach them to eat right, because a lot of times the way our children look and think, and the way we look and think, is based on what the foods we put in our body. I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm in that direction. I just eat, baked chicken. I like turkey. I try to get stay away from the breads. I haven't eaten white bread. Whew. But I still like whole grain, and I'm reading some stuff like, you don't want to mess with that whole grain either. But I like a good tuna sandwich every once in a while. I like tuna, salmon, things like that. And I love vegetables. I buy my stuff frozen or fresh. I'm stayed away from canned stuff, but recently I had some chili at the can. I'm gonna have to learn to make my own in the crock pot. I will. And beans and the good stuff. That's what we should be in law of Jesus. We can stay away from the sugars now. I'm telling y'all now, it's hard. I'm finishing up another pack of cookies right now. The lemon kind you get out of Dollar Tree and Family Dollars, delicious. I know, but I know. See, we all have. I'm not asking for perfection, just practice. And of course, you gotta have plenty of water, and that's what you should be feeding our kids. Yeah, your kids don't know what they want until you give it to them. So you can have a child that's never had Frosted Flakes in his life. They started off with Banana Nut Crunch or Moose Licks or Raisin Bran without sugar. They wouldn't even know. They get around other kids. Ooh, you like granola? They won't know what they like until you give it to them. Keep them out of this McDonald's and Burger Killer, McDummy and Burger Killer, and Kentucky Fried Cancer. Stay out these damn restaurants. And then, but really, be careful when you go to your soul food restaurants. Go every once in a while. Now, here in Dallas, the soul food restaurants here suck. But I know in New Orleans, around southern Louisiana, my God, I know, godly. Whew. Places like that. In Memphis, my God. And don't even start talking about the barbecue. That's one of the reasons I've been trying to get home, so I can get up in one of those damn restaurants that sell barbecue. You want real barbecue, come to Memphis or head down to Greenwood, Mississippi. That's where the barbecue is. And if you want the best blues, go to Memphis or head down to Greenwood, Mississippi. Because those are the places that got the juke joints. Do me all night long. Don't mess with my toot-toot. Don't jump my pony. If you can't ride, rather step on my own heart and break it than to be used cheating in the next room. See, the real stuff. Who's making love to your old lady while you out making love? Johnny Taylor's the king. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not asking for perfection, just practice. So let's practice a little more and a little harder being black folks who love and like and love each other. Okay? I ain't gonna hold y'all. I gotta give me some laps in before the sun just started blaring too tough, but I appreciate everybody who's been on my live, fool with me on the Cash App and the PayPal. And let's continue to have these conversations, the real conversations, and not yelling at each other, screaming at each other, talking crazy, and saying things that we probably cannot come back and apologize for. It's okay to have a healthy dialogue about what we differ in as relates to politics and any other thing. But all this stab verbally and mentally, intellectually, stabbing folks in the throat and all this shit. That's retarded. It's just politics. Because if we don't do what we're supposed to do, like Asians and Hispanics and Italians, they all got their own communities. They all got their own everything. And let me stop right there. Because I was talking about Dr. Claude Anderson, but I went on to something else, and I have to come back to him. He has that video called, again, on YouTube, called Inappropriate Behavior. And then the second video is called Exceptional People. Dr. Claude Anderson and his books, Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, yeah, History Reader and Dirty Little Secrets and stuff like that. But those two right there, Powernomics and Black Labor, White Wealth, along with the other books that you pick up. It's okay, just pick one a month. And then start teaching it to our young people, because they are our future. And that's what we need to be doing. Because I was about to tell you about something else really quickly, but I guess it lost again because Dr. Claude Anderson is really popular, and it came right back just then. Here's the thing. See, we would have to be so heavily dependent on politics if we were heavily involved with each other as a race, as a group. All these separate entities that we are in this group. And I know, Rico, we're not all a monolith, and that's correct, and that can be true. But can we all agree that on economically we need to be shopping and buying and supporting each other? Can we believe educationally that we need to be educating our own? Can we agree with that? Damn. And then you mean what do you mean by education, Rico? Educating us on our own history, because it's there. We don't need nobody else to dictate who the fuck we are, because when you don't know yourself, other people get to do that. The scholars left the books for us. They left the scrolls for us. They left the research papers for us. And the internet and social media has made it possible for us to find all that. And guess what? There are bookstores. We still have bookstores. In Dallas, it's called Pan-African Bookstore off of Marsalis there in Oak Cliff. They got a huge bookstore. And then you can order books off Amazon. All this Amazon ordering that people been doing. Order some of these historical books about our people, who we are. You know, and you can order some of them, ladies, you can order some of them damn feminist books if you want to, but I'm just saying, they're not doing you any good. Yeah. And it pays, because look at every other group. You don't hear no other group really fussing and cussing about no damn president, about these national elections, because they already got the economic part down. They all take care of each other. The immigrants all take care of each other. Hell, we take care of them damn immigrants. Our taxpayers, our dollars take care of them. You think you can go to another country and they take care of you the way America takes care of them? Hell no. So you try to fight for immigrants? Yeah, fight for your own. Fight for the people in the black ghetto. Those are our immigrants, goddammit, that's been put in the spot. All of us, most of us had to come through the hood to get to our beautiful gated suburbs and quiet streets. So we just gonna keep going and not look back. That's crazy. And I don't want to hear nothing about we have our outreach. It's some more work to be done. You have to physically have your ass out there doing some stuff and making sure people are impacted by what you do positively. And I'm saying push reading, push education, push awareness, push racial awareness. That's all. And what I'm talking about, not just like anybody else, but be proud about who you are. Be proud of us. That's what this thing is about. Be proud of us. God dog. Why is this such a hard concept for us? Be proud of us, black folks. Yeah, we always say, ooh, I don't have a thing against black girl magic. But I'm telling you something, I'm excited when I see black girls doing stuff awesome. I'm excited when I see black women who are naturally gifted. I'm excited when I see a pretty black woman and one who's well behaved. I'm excited. I'm black like everybody else. I swear, look at me. Look how I sound. I'm not that Oprah black when Oprah says, I know I'm black. I look into the mirror. No, I'm not that. I'm a real black dude. Actual 100% black Angus. Top-notch black dude. And I'm not the stereotype. What's up, I think you all saying? No, I'm not that. You know how they put out in the movies? There's a duality. There is a duality to me. Just like a lot of us. I understand behavior in context. And so, That's what I'm saying. We have to understand that. And I'm just sad that it's just my voice, because y'all know I got a little platform. It's my YouTube page. I mean, my little Facebook page. It ain't getting them probably like, it probably get about 300 views. But these folks, they got 2 to 10 million followers on Instagram. I don't be talking about shit. These folks with these platforms that get shared 10,000 times, 3,000 times for doing foolishness. And that, I ain't knocking, I'm just telling you. It's funny when people talk like me, we don't get shared and supported. It's like y'all like to see people like me poor and fucked up and arrested and hurt because I hurt your feelings with my opinions and my perspectives. I find that to be very weird. But all these other folks who are actually damaging our people, these dumbass rappers, the men and the women, these dumbass TV shows that we just absorb like P-Valley and all of the reality shows. The stuff that's actually psychologically damaging our race. That's the stuff, those are the people that make all the money off of us. But somebody like me, I ain't invited to speak to young people. I'm not invited to do whatever. Yeah. Y'all invite somebody from a damn reality show to come talk to black girls. And this bitch walking in all that weave and them fingernails. And them ugly stilettos and that beat face full of makeup to talk to 8th grade girls about being a woman. Are you kidding me? All these sisters right here that got YouTube channels that talking about woman divinity. And I'm not talking about those sisters on YouTube that talking about how men ain't shit. Not them old poisonous, cantankerous bitches. I'm talking about some real sweet women and pretty and talk about good hygiene and good health. And this sister, I forgot her name, Art Kathy or something. Art Kathy? She talks about good vagina health. Sisters, your vagina should smell like pineapples. It shouldn't smell like cottage cheese. It shouldn't be discharging cottage cheese down there. No man wants to see no discharge of cottage cheese. I think her name is Art Kathy, and there's probably some others, sisters, on there, natural hair, talking about the actual feminine divinity with divineness and even the way they project themselves. And they're the sisters that Erica Lachey that talks about, y'all know on Twitter, y'all been seeing her stuff, putting folks in check. So it's a lot of appropriate sisters out there, but they're not Michelle Obama. They're not Oprah. The women with statuses that black women flock to don't do shit for them mentally, socially, in their lives. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all probably saw the pictures when I was outside. It was cold as shit. When I protested here in Dallas, when Oprah and Gail and them showed up, and I was out there and saw all those women, whites, blacks, and a lot of black women out there. I said, now, if Sherazade Ali came, I couldn't get 700. I can't get 10,000 black women to come and listen to her speak. Probably get 10 of them, and those are sisters who are already in the conscious community. And hell, the conscious community sisters don't want to hear Sherazade Ali. Hell, I think some sisters who was in the Nation of Islam with Sherazade Ali don't want to hear her. I couldn't get 10,000 black women to come see her. I couldn't get 10,000 black women to come and hear Michelle Alexander talk about how America targets black males and puts them in jail 3 to 5 times higher than their white counterparts. Hell, that's what I'm talking about. Sisters, get your mind right. And did y'all know when we talk about this music, hell, go to your average rap concert when all he does is say, fuck you, suck a dick, sell your ass, fuck you, twerk, bitch, yeah, bitch, smoke this blunt, fuck you. 60% of the attendees is women and girls. You got a bunch of dudes in there acting like girls and trying to be thugs, but So that's what I'm saying, before you start attacking guys, look at who's buying this stuff. Young guys trying to be the rappers because they know they got because rap music has a huge female following. Hence why those so-called educated feminists and non-feminist affiliated black women came out defending Cardi bitch and Megan the Stupid. So, anyway, we got a lot of work to do. I just want to share that. None of us are innocent of anything. Not all of us are guilty of anything, I guess. That's the same thing. But we all have a part. We all have a part that we can play. This is one of my small ways that I can contribute. Lend my voice and whatever I think I know, share with you. You can take it, take the meat and spit out the bones, however you want to deal with this. Because I listen to people who I believe are telling the truth. I listen to them, even those who are saying something I may not totally agree with, but I want to hear them out. I tend to do that sometimes. I'm just like anybody else a lot of times. Man, I ain't trying to do this shit. So I expect you to have that courtesy, everybody to extend that courtesy to me. Shit. I live in reality. I'm an Aquarius, damn it. That's what we do. We live in reality. It is what it is. What you see is what you get. What you see is a lot of times is what it is. Don't be perceived. Don't judge a book by its cover. To all those who believe that, stop it. Don't teach our young people that foolishness. Because if you want to be perceived as somebody who's a human being, perceived as having good sense, well, don't dress opposite. Don't act opposite. That's all. Like Dave Chappelle says, it's funny how we listen to these comedians, but I listen to them for the truth they tell, not just for the punchline. Because comedians are the biggest truth tellers in our society, because they're allowed to do it. Because if it's funny, ha 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 ha, then it won't be off with their heads. But if it's not funny, take them to the dungeon, feed them to the lions. Because Dave Chappelle's that little thing he did when he broke down all the LGBT, abortion rights and all that was classic, epic, told the truth. And then guess what? There's some folks who, no, I don't care. The punchline didn't fall for me. We finna target him. Dave Chappelle took it and he moved on. And when he said in that 846, that little Netflix thing he did about 30 minutes, total epic truth, told the truth. So he knew he was going a little deep, so he had to throw in some punchlines. But I heard it. See, people like me listen to that. And comedians tell the truth under the guise of a punchline, and they're allowed, just like in a kingdom. You had your court jester. The court jester can pretty much say everything, but if he didn't, as long as he didn't offend the king, it better be funny. Well, they took his ass off to the dungeons to be fed by the lions. And then we have a lot of people in society, and this is where people like me come in, I guess. Or anybody who's outspoken, or I always say I point out the pink elephant in the black living room, and sometimes it offends. This old play, this story of the emperor has no clothes. And I didn't understand what that meant for the longest time. I said, what do you mean the emperor has no clothes? And so it was broken down. I said, oh, what is being said is, just like the elephant in the pink elephant in the living room. People are so afraid, well, kind of like that. People are so afraid of the backlash that they see the bullshit that's going on, but they're afraid to point it out, meaning the emperor has no clothes, meaning he's naked, but a dumbass like me would be the one to point out, hey, the emperor doesn't have any clothes on. Everybody go, oh, how dare you? That's awful. Why would you say that? And we all looking at this naked ass man. That's what happened. That's what happened to me when I was a student at Grambling. And that's what happened to me when I was in high school. Let me give you an emperor has no clothes story from high school. Fraser High School in Memphis, North Memphis, Fraser, the Bay Area. I remember I was in the 10th grade. Fraser was like 49% black, 51% white, and others and all that stuff. So it was a nice mix. And so one day, I went to the teacher who was over the yearbook staff. And every time the yearbook would come out, I guess. I think I was probably in 11th grade. I said, both times I saw the yearbook come out, I noticed that the yearbook would have mostly white kids in there, and others, and have a few pictures of blacks. You know how you go back to your yearbook, you see, Jessica's clowning in the cafeteria, or Brad and Joseph are participating in arts and craft, and all kinds of stuff. Then they'll show the black folks with an athletic picture, not just being regular students around the school. They'll show a group of white classmates, but a black girl will be there and one black dude in the background, that kind of shit. So I asked the question. I posed the question. I said, how come she was a mulatto or Creole. Her name was Miss Savard. God damn, I loved her. She was so cute. She had dark jet curly hair down, just heavy curl hair. I probably was, and she had this very sexy lady southern kind of voice. And she's very light skinned, but she had dark eyes and jet black curly hair. Loved her little cute self. But anyway, I had to ask her. Y'all know me, I don't care nothing about all that. I'm gonna ask the goddamn question. I said, Miss Savard, you're the yearbook staff and all this. So my question is, how come if Fraser High School is 49% black and 51%, it's almost like we're kind of even, but in the yearbook it's almost like 90% white people. And everybody looked up and she like, almost with kind of like an attitude, but it was almost like it was one of those commands. Well, if you don't like the way the yearbook looks, Mr. Rivers, why don't you become part of the staff and you make a change? So I like, okay, give me a camera. And she gave me 24, a roll of 24 black and white exposures. I took, 27, and 124, 27 exposures. I took 27 exposures of black kids doing different things across the campus and cafeteria and all of that. I took a picture of all the black kids I could. Okay, the yearbook comes out. Guess how many of those pictures showed up in the yearbook? 3. So I guess my 3 made the quota. I'm telling y'all, BB tomorrow, shit is crazy. 3 motherfucking pictures. And then, I'm telling you, this shit is crazy. Then when I got to, same thing. When I was at Grambling, I went to Mexico, doing those trips. I went to Mexico that first time, and I first time being out of the country, and first time me seeing tan and darker Mexican people. 'Cause you know, in America they only show the white looking ones, right? The yellow and white looking ones on TV and stuff. So when we got to Mexico, started seeing, you know, dark tan, and then we got to Acapulco. I saw a dude that looked like me, like he could have came out of North Memphis speaking straight Spanish. I said, well, damn, there's black folks in Mexico? And so, in my classroom, we was on the campus of, it was called Universidad de la Autónoma, something like that, in Saltillo. Shout out to everybody that went to any one of the Mexico trips. Shout out to my roommate, Riley Gray. What's up, bro? And everybody in the food committee. They had all of us. We were a special group on that trip. Paulie Paul. These are some of my people I hung out with. What's up, Paul? And others. And so, also rest in peace, the great Dr. Brooks, Charles Brooks. Man. Anyway, in class, I asked, her name was Senora Flores, because we had to go to class in the daytime for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right, on that university campus. And so, here you go, noticing the emperor is naked. I asked the white-looking, blonde-haired, red lipstick, Spanish, the Mexican instructor, I said, couldn't speak Spanish with shit, but she spoke a lot of Spanish, and thank God Dr. Brooks was in the classroom there. And here I am with like, all the classmates, about 25 of us in the class, or 20 or something like that in the classroom, a lot of students from Grambling in there with me. So I raised my hand. I said, so how come, in my best Spanish, how come el blanco means white, el blanco estudiantes are el blanco, but non-estudiante, homeless, manual laborers, they're el negro. And so Dr. Brooks like, and everybody like, they looked at me, and they're like, what the fuck is he saying? So Dr. Brooks translated in Spanish, saying, en estudiante, el negro, como el labora, and estudiante, el blanco, and estudiante autónoma, Saltillo. And she said, oh, no racismo, no, Juan y Mexico, no racismo. In the class, and of course my classmates, everybody was in there. Oh man, oh hell, man, Rico done brought that shit to Mexico. Yeah, motherfucker, I don't go to sleep because I crossed the border. I'm always awake, I notice everything. All the white ones were the students, and they were the professors, and they were, you know, professional people walking around the street, going to jobs, and everybody that was dark-skinned was outside cooking tortillas on them little ovens as they built the houses or laid cement or was homeless. Goddamn right, I asked, so how is that? I said, well, goddamn, that's like in America. So, yeah, so this is nothing new. I've always pointed out the emperor was naked in my life. And so that's what I do. In Grambling, I wrote a newsletter that pointed out how naked the emperor was all the time. And the people like, how could you? Oh my God, somebody will kick your ass. Why would you say that? So there you go, y'all. That's how I understood the emperor wears no clothes. I understood that when I got it. I said, oh, you mean me? This sounds like the concept that I have of pointing out the pink elephant in the black living room. Amen, brother and sisters. But anyway, see, my water's gone. I have another bottle here, and I'm going to use that as I run. I got a few laps to do in this beautiful sun. And y'all be cool. Thank y'all so much. Mess with me on that Cash App. Everybody who hung around me, I know these damn lives go long. Y'all know I'm long-winded, and I thank you. So y'all be cool. And have a great weekend. Please practice social distancing. Anything I've said, please, please. Charge it to my head and, man, take it easy on my heart. I'm just like y'all. I'm sensitive too. But some things you just have to say. Hopefully you can grow from it. And what you don't need, as they say, chew off the meat and then just spit out the bones. All right? And let's hope we all come together finally. But I'll keep saying until we do. Y'all be cool. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Man. And I'll talk to y'all later. Let me take these off so I can see this. Peace.